What is good YouTube, Warstu here with a very different video today. So Bird Box is the movie that is hitting the internet by storm. Close to 50 million subscription views in a week on Netflix is absolutely insane, and it's mostly being driven by the crazy memes that are absolutely everywhere. So this movie got me intrigued, so I watched it on New Year's Eve and I was very interested and intrigued by the fact that the social critics. What is a social critic? A social critic is someone who's not actually a real critic, they're just a random person who watches a movie and judges it. So if I was going to go by their reviews, damn, this would have been a bad movie, but it's a very interesting, intriguing and creepy movie in many ways. So careful spoilers if you haven't seen it, but if you've clicked into the video, you want to know already. So Bird Box has deleted scenes that actually showed what the actual monsters was supposed to look like. So the story follows Mallory, played by Sandra Bullock, and her two children, girl and boy. Imagine calling your children girl and boy. It would be epic, it would be savage, but you just wouldn't do it. But towards the end of the movie, they get real names. I'm not going to ruin that for you, but it's quite interesting. So essentially, they are trying to attempt to escape a mystery entity that forces people to kill themselves in a most savage, gruesome way. But if you're into horror movies, it's not really that gruesome. So right at the end of the name, boy and girl gets a name, which is pretty cool. So they managed to get to the sanctuary at the end of the movie, which is essentially a sanctuary for the blind. And obviously, if you are blind, this mystery entity cannot get to you because you can't see. So it's pretty awesome ending. And a lot of people are still freaking out about this movie, and I can understand why. So that's a brief overview of what happened. So speaking to Bloody Disgusting, Bird Box screenwriter Eric said this: a very specific scene where one of the actual monsters was going to be brought to life on screen for y'all to see. There was a time when one of the producers was like, no, you have to see something at some point, and forced me to write essentially a nightmare sequence where Mallory experiences one in that house. Sandra Bullock described the creature in the scene as a green man with a horrific baby face. It was a snake-like, and I was like, I don't want to see it when it first happened. Just bring me into the room, we shoot the scene, I'll turn, and he's like growling at me. It's making me laugh. It was just a long fat baby. But there is some visual confirmation of what the monsters were supposed to look like, because at one part of the movie there was 20 drawings on the table, you know, right at the start of the movie, before they let the kind of person that came in and ruined everything. But I don't want to go into massive spoilers. So it's very interesting that they were going to show the monsters, then decided not to show the monsters. So essentially the whole movie is about Mallory getting to the home for blind in order to save boy and girl. However, the original ending of the book was different in many ways. So they found out when they got to this sanctuary of the blind, everyone had forcefully blinded themselves in a bid to stay safe. Yeah, pretty dark. That is pretty dark. Imagine the ending the movie on that note. So they made a decision to kind of change the ending. The director defended her choice in an interview with Polygon, considering that all her films end on a note of optimism. She said that she didn't want to make a post-apocalyptic movie that didn't have a hopeful ending. The movie is slightly more positive. The movie is in many ways different from the book, but it's also very rooted in the book. The book also has a kind of positive ending, and I would not want to do an apocalyptic movie that didn't have a hopeful ending. In a way, pretty much everything I've done has had some sort of hopeful ending. I'm not particularly interested for the audience to leave from the cinema or on their own screens with a kind of completely bleak point of view. That's not really what I believe in. So that's pretty cool. So at least she explained why she didn't do the same ending as the book. And to be honest, TV shows, movies that are 100% based on the book or the comics, so to speak, that are 100% exactly the same are boring because you know exactly what's coming. So guys, did you personally want to see the monsters? Did the movie freak you out? Did you have sweaty palms throughout the whole movie? Did you hate it? Because I'm hearing a lot of different stories when I go through certain videos from creators that have reviewed it and stuff, reading like YouTuber users' comments, and it is really interesting how a lot of people didn't like this movie, but I did. So drop all your comments down below, guys. Would you prefer the kind of the alternate ending with the main star getting to see one of these monsters, I suppose you could say, or entities? Anyway, guys, like I said, I will be doing different content, different ending explainers for certain stuff that I watch. So hopefully you can still support the channel, and I will catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch you later.